y'all? We're back with the Beatles. This is Helter Skelter. Um, I looked this song up. I know the phrase Helter Skelter from the book that was written about Charles Manson. I don't remember the title on it, but I read it about 15 years ago, so I was familiar with that term, and I believe it's also in Don McLean's song, Helter Skelter in the Summer Shelter, in the American Pie song. That's a great song, by the way. Um, so anyway, I looked it up. It came out in 1968. It was on the Beatles' White Album. I'm guessing this is the cover here that we're seeing. And it says that in England, a helter skelter is like a slide that, like a spiral slide that goes down, and it can be used as a term for like chaos, kind of. Paul McCartney wrote this song, and it was in response to critics saying that he basically just wrote love ballads and he was like the soft guy in the band. Um, and the song is about the fall of the Roman Empire. Like there was the Great Rise, and, vast expansion, and then there was, that relatively fast downfall for how big it was. So that's what the song's about. And they also said that many consider this to be the first heavy metal song, which is like it's very surprising to me. Makes me extremely curious because I love heavy metal. And then others say that it influenced the first, I guess, real heavy metal, which was 1976. I'm not sure who was the first. I think that Lemmy was there early on, the Ace of Spades guy. What is the name of his group? I can't remember right now. But that's a great song anyway. But yeah, let's go, man. Let me make sure I got the volume up. Okay, let's go.
When I get to the bottom, I go back to the top of the slide. Where I stop and I turn and I go for a ride. Till I get to the bottom and I see you again. Yeah, yeah, yeah. But don't you want me to love you? I'm coming down fast, but I'm miles above you.
Yeah, this like I can see this fitting in almost with a category of like the Misfits, like kind of late '70s, early '80s, like hardcore punk. Yeah, this it's so strange to me because I have no association, or I don't associate the Beatles with like this kind of sound. This is cool, man.
Tell me, come on, tell me the answer. Well, you may be a lover, but you ain't no dancer. Helter Skelter, Helter Skelter, Helter Skelter. Will you, won't you want me to make you? I'm coming down fast, but don't let me break you. Tell me the answer. You may be a lover, but you ain't no dancer.
So it was John Lennon on the Twist and Shout song that had the rougher vocals, right? And so this is Paul McCartney singing now. Are they? Do they all? I think they all sing, right, to some degree. But are they like the two lead singers, or do they just kind of switch off? Yeah. All right, let's go, man.
You may be a lover, but you ain't no dancer. Look out! Helter Skelter, Helter Skelter, Helter Skelter. Look out! Crosses you come. When I get to the bottom, I go back to the top of the slide. And I stop and I turn and I go for a ride. And I get to the bottom and I see you again. Yeah, yeah, yeah. But don't you want me to make you? I'm coming down fast, but don't let me break you.
Is there at any point in rock history where you hear a guitar like that. I know it's a bit of, of a basic kind of little solo deal, but just that specific rock kind of solo sound. I don't know if that would be the right term, solo, right there, but I mean, I'm trying to think back. I mean, my knowledge is not very extensive, but I do remember in the movie Back to the Future that Johnny Be Good. I think that came out in the '50s, right? And there was some pretty serious guitar on there. But yeah, I don't know. Yeah, this is very surprising. It's a fun surprise to see this from them.
Coming down fast, but don't let me break you. Tell me down to your answer. You may be a lover, but you ain't no dancer. Look out, Helter Skelter. Helter Skelter. Helter Skelter. Look out, Helter Skelter. So coming down fast. Yes, she is. Yes, she is. Coming
I'm trying to imagine being like a teenager back then, and like never hearing something like that hard sound, and like you say, you're the kind of person that's really into to the rock and roll sound, and then you hear this, it's like that next step up. That must have been crazy, man. Oh, so that's quite a bit of time left. Let's give it a minute. Let's see if something else is happening here.
I got blisters on my fingers.
That's funny to me because I can imagine, if you had that on your record player and, it was a little bit more difficult to mess with those in the sense you didn't have like a remote or just like a set playlist or anything, so you just kind of let it ride. You want to hear it, especially if it's new, and then it cuts off and comes back in like that. I could imagine that, just being different at the time. Yeah, I thought it was cool, and I can absolutely see what they say now by that either being the first heavy metal song or the first like super influential one that kind of paved the way, gave people ideas on what could be possible and still sound good, and be heavier. That was cool, man. I was trying to find a live video for it, and I did see some of Paul McCartney. There were, I think, from like 2005 or something like that. But I guess I really wanted, because of how much like lore there is to this song, and and effects on American culture and just things like that. I don't know. I wanted to hear it in its purest form for the first time, especially after I was going over the whole Wikipedia page for this. Yeah, but I thought it was awesome, and we're definitely going to see some more Beatles soon. I was going over some of the song titles, and I think at a minimum I've heard the song titles like discussed, or I've read them, I've seen them somewhere. Hey Jude was one of them. I've possibly heard that. Which again, I don't. That's what's crazy is like I'm looking over them and I see things that look familiar, and I never knew who sang them. I just never looked into it. So I have the most interest in the ones that I haven't seen. So I'm going to go through some of the requests that you guys had on the Twist and Shout video and try to kind of figure that out. But if there are certain ones that I've like heard before, I still want to at least see them live. That's the most important thing to me. But yeah, I'm not sure what's going to come next from the Beatles, but I'm going to find something. All right, I'll see y'all next time.